What if one of the most familiar SUVs on the planet just decided to grow up, toughen up, and completely change its attitude? This is your first look at the 2026 Honda CR-V, and right from the first glance, it's clear this isn't the calm, soft CR-V you remember. Honda didn't play it safe this time. Instead, it pushed the CR-V into a bolder, more confident space, and the result might surprise a lot of people. By the end of this video, you might be asking yourself a serious question. Has the CR-V just become the most balanced SUV in its class? Let's start from the backside, because the rear of the 2026 Honda CR-V sets the tone for this new personality. The tail design is cleaner, wider, and more upright than before, giving the SUV a stronger road presence. The LED taillights are sharper and more structured, stretching outward to visually widen the vehicle. There's a sense of stability here, like the CR-V has planted its feet firmly on the road. The rear bumper features subtle silver skid plate elements, hinting that this SUV isn't afraid of light trails or rough roads anymore. It's practical, confident, and far from boring. Do you like this tougher rear look, or do you miss the softer CR-V designs of the past? Moving along the left side, the transformation becomes even more obvious. The 2026 CR-V now carries a boxier silhouette, with straighter lines and a more upright stance. Thick plastic cladding runs along the lower body, protecting it from daily wear and adding a rugged edge. This isn't just for show either. It gives the CR-V a more adventurous feel compared to earlier generations. The wheel arches are more pronounced, housing larger wheels that help fill out the body nicely. Park it next to the previous CR-V, and the difference is night and day. Compared to rivals like the Toyota RAV4, which already embraced a rugged look, the CR-V now finally feels like it belongs in that same conversation. Do you think Honda waited too long to make this change, or did they time it perfectly? Now let's walk around to the right side, where the design stays consistent and confident. The straight shoulder line runs cleanly from front to back, giving the CR-V a more mature and solid profile. The roofline is practical rather than sporty, which means better headroom and cargo space. This is still very much a family-focused SUV, just one with stronger shoulders now. Compared to the Mazda CX-5, which leans heavily into sleek curves and sporty proportions, the CR-V feels more honest and functional. Which approach do you prefer for an everyday SUV, style first or space first? Before stepping inside, we need to talk about the front, because it's where the biggest attitude shift happens. The large black grille with bold Honda lettering immediately grabs attention. It gives the CR-V a serious, almost aggressive face, something we've never really associated with this model before. The circular LED daytime running lights are a subtle nod to classic Honda design, but everything else feels modern and assertive. This CR-V doesn't fade into traffic anymore. It stands out. Thick cladding and silver skid elements further reinforce that this SUV isn't just built for city streets. Does this new face make the CR-V more appealing to you, or do you think it's trying too hard? Now step inside, and the mood shifts from rugged to calm and refined. The interior of the 2026 Honda CR-V plays to Honda's traditional strengths: ergonomics, visibility, and quality. The wide digital display stretching across the dashboard puts all the essential information right in front of the driver without overwhelming the senses. Everything feels clean, organized, and thoughtfully placed. You don't feel stressed sitting here, and that matters on long drives. Materials throughout the cabin feel solid and well finished. Honda hasn't gone for flashy luxury, but there's a sense of durability and quiet confidence. The seats are supportive, designed for comfort over long distances rather than just looking sporty. Rear passengers benefit from generous legroom and headroom, making this a genuinely family-friendly SUV. Storage spaces are smartly integrated, from deep door pockets to a practical center console. Would you choose this calm, well-designed cabin over something more high-tech but potentially distracting? Cargo space remains one of the CR-V's strongest points. With the rear seats up, there's plenty of room for groceries, luggage, or sports gear. Fold them down, and the CR-V turns into a capable hauler for weekend trips or home projects. Compared to the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage, which impress with screens and bold interiors, the CR-V wins by making everything feel intuitive and easy to live with. Now let's talk about what's under the hood, Because balance is the key word for the 2026 Honda CR-V. The base versions come with a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine, producing around 190 horsepower and 243 newton-meters of torque. Paired with a CVT transmission, this setup focuses on smoothness and efficiency rather than excitement. In daily driving, it feels relaxed, responsive, and predictable, which is exactly what most CR-V buyers want. But the real star of the lineup is the hybrid version. Combining a 2-liter gasoline engine with an electric motor, total system output reaches around 204 to 210 horsepower. Thanks to electric assistance, the CR-V hybrid feels quieter and more refined, especially during takeoff and low-speed driving. Overtaking is smoother, and overall driving feels more fluid. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is expected to be around 8.5 seconds for the gasoline version and roughly 7.8 to 8 seconds for the hybrid. Do you think that's enough performance for a family SUV, or do you expect more? All-wheel drive variants add another layer of confidence. The system intelligently engages the rear axle when needed, improving grip on wet roads, snow, or light off-road surfaces. This makes the CR-V more versatile than ever before, even if it's not meant for hardcore off-roading. Compared to the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, which leads in efficiency, the CR-V counters with a smoother, more refined driving experience. Which one matters more to you, maximum fuel savings or overall driving comfort? Fuel efficiency is another area where Honda clearly focused its efforts. The 1.5-liter turbo version is expected to average around 7.5 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers. The hybrid version shines in city driving, with figures around 5 to 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers. In real-world use, that can make a big difference over time, especially for daily commuters. Would you choose the hybrid for efficiency, or stick with the gasoline version for simplicity? Now let's talk about price and where the 2026 Honda CR-V sits in the market. Sales are expected to begin in late 2025, with some regions seeing it in early 2026. In Europe, the base gasoline version is realistically expected to start around €36,000 to €38,000. Hybrid versions are likely to range between €41,000 and €45,000, depending on trim level. Fully equipped all-wheel drive models could go slightly higher. That puts the CR-V right in the heart of a very competitive segment. The Toyota RAV4 dominates with hybrid efficiency, the Mazda CX-5 appeals to driving enthusiasts, and the Hyundai Tucson and Kia Sportage attract buyers with bold design and technology. Honda's advantage lies in balance. The CR-V isn't too firm, not too soft, not overly aggressive, and definitely not dull. It's the kind of SUV that feels right in almost every situation. Do you think being the most balanced option is better than being the most exciting? So let's wrap this up with the final verdict. The first look, 2026 Honda CR-V shows us a vehicle that has grown more confident without losing its identity. It's tougher on the outside, calmer on the inside, and smarter under the hood. Honda didn't chase trends blindly. It refined what already worked and added just enough boldness to keep things fresh. This new CR-V feels like it's built for real life, for families, commuters, and people who want comfort, efficiency, and reliability in one package. It may not shout the loudest, but it speaks clearly and confidently. Is this the CR-V generation that finally wins over everyone, or do you think Honda should have pushed even further? If you enjoyed this first look and want more honest, engaging car content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow Lux Drive Review for the latest automotive insights. Your support helps the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one.